Good morning, Pyro. And there is Costi. Here we are, episode 169 of Draw Every Day with GCI Studios. We are going to be doing some inking. Hello, Costi. Hello, Pyro. Yes, the Absolute Batman is coming to life. The #1 comic book in the world right now is Absolute Batman. That is so cool. Completely dominated MegaCon in Daytona Beach in Orlando. Hello, Blue Samurai. Welcome back. And there is Danny. Awesome. Yep. Invincible. They're rejuvenating the Invincible line of comics, reprinting them. I didn't realize that went out of print so long ago. It's been a long time since Invincible was a comic book, which it did okay, but nowhere near as good as the TV show. Yeah, Image Comics has really taken off here in the last 5 years. Which I think is amazing that somebody is giving competition to the big two, Marvel and DC. Marvel is completely tanking right now. If they don't make some changes, the comic book side of that company could really get into trouble again. Yes, I'm ready. Hello, Keith. Welcome to the community. This is the GCI live stream. We are live every day. This is another episode of Draw Every Day. People ask me, how to improve their artwork, how they can get it to look more like they see in the comic books, and the key is to draw every day. Use reference when you're starting, learn anatomy, pick out your best comic book artist, and just try to use their artwork as a guideline. Reproduce it. The Spider-Man trilogy, Tom Holland. And so with this, really the main part of this channel, GCI Studios, is the series Draw Every Day. That's what gets the hours, that's what gets the subscribers, that's what people like to tune into. Because we're just doing good old comic book art every day. Thank you very much, Keith. Appreciate the likes, everybody. The likes are the #1 way you guys can support each episode so we can keep growing this channel. I think No Way Home, I really liked was the strongest one for me. That is awesome to hear, Pyro, because that is my goal, is to inspire you guys to draw every day so that you can continue to improve, and it helps you to enjoy the art of just art of drawing. The more accurate, the more the pictures looks like, start to reflect what the image you have in your mind. The more you're going to enjoy drawing. So yep, that's why you're going to draw every day, and that's why you're going to keep practicing so that you get better and better, and that will give you the best opportunity to draw the art like you see in the comics, whatever your favorite art is, so that you can keep improving and get to that point. And this channel is also for people who just enjoy comic book art and the whole process of drawing. I have a lot of artists who aren't necessarily comic book fans, but they like to watch this channel and share their art on the community. The Ant-Man was, yeah, it's bigger because it's actually, so right now, what you see here, these cubes, these are magnets. And this is his logo right here. It comes off and is actually a battle axe that he uses to fight the villains. So that's why it's so big. And also, Frank Miller, when he did The Dark Knight and redrew him with that larger bat logo, it was so that criminals would shoot at that. Gave the criminals something to shoot at, and it's, of course, bulletproof. And that would buy him time to move in and crush his opponents who are using guns. Yeah, so this is his logo. It comes off. He has a handle that goes on it. Right here. And he swings it around and beats the crap out of his opponents. This is number 5. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think the first one was probably the best one, although there are some parts on the second one that I really liked. The third one was kind of a flop, in my opinion. I watched it. It was kind of interesting, but it was nowhere near as good as the first two. So I think I'd have to go with the first Ant-Man as the best. Then the second one would be the next. How do you draw hands? Depends on what the hand is doing. Let me get a piece of paper. Okay, so the typical hand you're going to start, like if it's an arm coming down like this and the hand is relaxed, so that's the thumb, and then you just come up here, and then that is this meaty part in the hand, so then you just put the thumb in. The thumb's pretty simple. It's only got like 2 major joints in it. And then you have 3 sections in each finger. So that's a knuckle. I always draw this knuckle. And then this is the fingertip. And then if for the next hand, all you got to do is kind of draw the highlight. And then this one is kind of just the fingertips. Yeah, it is the worst. And then, of course, this is that knob in your wrist. But when you're looking at the hand from the back, you can simplify it this way, structure-wise. So let's say this is the hand. This is where the thumb would go. This is the middle knuckle, would be the dominant one. So you just kind of rough out a finger there, and then there, and then you come up here. And then, of course, the little finger. And then you put the knuckles in, and then you have the tendons that come back in the hand. So you just got to simplify it into its basic shapes. So then that would come back this way, and there would be that knob again. And then a fist, like if this hand is a fist coming down, which a lot of times in the superhero pose, what I do is come out this way and just do a shape like this for the thumb. I like to raise up this part of the hand, exaggerate this knuckle, bring this up, and then this finger is simple. So when this finger is closed, this is the first part. So all you have to do is this and this. And then just kind of do the muscles around the hand. And that fist is a little, there's that bump again, and up to the forearm. So those are the kind of the basics. And then with the fingernail, if you just want to do little squares. Thank you for joining, everybody. And this is kind of just the relaxed hand. You can do some lines for the muscles, maybe put in a few veins. Thumbnail here. So those are the basic shapes, and then you can do variations on that. Adjust it depending on the angle of the pose. If he's holding like this hand, he's holding on to this, so you add the handle in. This hand is kind of fading back, so I just got a few of the top marks in this. It's behind his leg. Welcome everyone to the GCI live stream. I think it would have to be the last one. That one's going to be hard to beat as far as trilogies go. Yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine's got to be the best one. Welcome everybody to the stream, the extreme stream. And don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, that was insane. Best rated R movie performance of all time. Very crazy. Welcome everyone to the GCI live stream. We are drawing the hottest property, the GCI version of the hottest property in comics right now. Absolute Batman. There is no comic book selling better. There's nothing that performed as well in the latest Comic-Con, which was in Orlando, MegaCon, which I went to a MegaCon, but I couldn't get in because I wasn't patient enough to wait for the massive lines back in 2003. I had my portfolio. I was going to show my artwork to DC editors and Marvel. Had some of my covers that I had done at that point. And it was just too insanely busy. I did not want to spend my whole day standing in line trying to get in. Iron Man, the first one, is the best one, in my opinion. Iron Man 1, the origin. When he built that suit in a cave with extra parts. Second one, I did not like the villain in the second one. Mickey Rourke. But it did have some good parts to it, though. The third one, I can watch okay, but it's, I don't know. I didn't much care for that villain either. I think they could have gave Iron Man a better villain in that third one. Although the Mandarin, that actor was pretty cool, pretty funny. Yeah, so what's left of the Bat emblem logo right here are just magnets that hold this battle axe on. So it's always there ready when he needs to start chopping the villains up. And thank you for joining everyone to the GCI Studios live stream. What's the same? I'm not sure which Spider-Man you're talking about. Which one is, who is that? Oh, it's Tobey Maguire. I didn't remember who the director was. So with Tobey's, the first one was really, really good. I think I have to go with the first one on that series. Yep, Green Goblin was good. With Willem Dafoe as a Green Goblin. That was a really good villain. Yes, I agree, Pyro. He would have been an amazing Joker. He wouldn't even need makeup. His face, uh, exaggerated grin that he does. Yeah, probably aged out. I haven't seen him on much recently, but I doubt he'd be able to pull it off now. Get him back in the center of the screen here. Absolute's creeping away on me, man. That would be cool if he still can pull it off, man. Just don't know. Haven't seen him really acting in anything for a while. I like the Omni-Man Invincible when he was in the red and white. I've drawn that one before. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, number 3 of Spider, Tobey Maguire was kind of off the rails a little bit, off the track, what they were trying to do. It's easy for them to get into the cheese zone doing these movies if they're not careful. No, me neither. On the 3. Welcome everyone to the GCI live stream. This is episode number 169 of Draw Every Day. And of course, the subject matter for today, and started yesterday, is Absolute Batman. We're not saying it was completely trash. We're just saying it wasn't as good. Didn't hold up to the standard that the other ones had achieved. At least that's what I'm saying. Welcome everyone to the GCI live stream. Welcome to Draw Every Day. We're drawing Batman, the hottest comic book in the industry right now. The revamp of the Absolute Universe has completely dominated the comic book industry, completely dominated MegaCon in Orlando last week. People could not get enough of the creator, of the art, of the comics. They're paying hundreds of dollars for issue 1, the first run of the issue 1 of Absolute Batman. I wish I would have followed my instincts and went and got one of those issues, but I didn't. Now they're like crazy expensive. Oh, this is my favorite straight edge ruler, especially for drawing. It's just a shorter one, 6-inch for working in the sketchbook. Yeah, they always get into trouble when they try to ram too many storylines into one movie. Thank you everyone for joining, and please don't forget to hit that like button before you have to go. I realize not everyone's going to stay for the whole thing, especially on the weekend live streams, editions of the Draw Every Day series, because these go quite a bit longer than they do during the week. Yeah, that's a common mistake movie makers are guilty of, is just cramming too much into one movie. Yeah, we're not saying we hate them. We're just saying sometimes they just try to do too much. Thank you everyone for joining, for hanging around for a few. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. We have good conversations on here. Costi is our resident scoopster on the movies and TV shows that include our favorite heroes. Likes to do a lot of polling and see which movie was the best, or actor, or storyline. Yeah, they were just kind of lingering in their cells, those two, on that movie. Doc Ock was one of the main, and Electro. They both had a lot of lines in the movie. Captain America. Got the Winter Soldier. We got Civil War, considered one of Captain America's trilogy. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with, yeah, Civil War was pretty cool. I can always watch the first one, though. I like that story a lot. Showing how he got this super soldier serum. Yeah, I'm going to go with the first Captain America, the first Avenger. I think that's my favorite one. I watch that one quite often. Yeah, that was always a big deal. Storyline in the comics. Having the internal battles. Remember the comic book universe that me and my brother came up with? We had two teams of heroes who fought each other to see who was going to be the leaders of the little mini universe we created as kids. It's just what you do. Well, Love and Thunder was a little bit too much of a comedy. Had some cool elements to it, Love and Thunder did. The second one with the elves was pretty good, but I don't think either one of them was as good as the original. Oh yeah, Ragnarok. Yeah, I forgot about Ragnarok. So are there 4 Thor movies? I think there's 4 Thor movies. Yeah, Ragnarok, that's actually my favorite. I watch Ragnarok all the time. How could I forget Ragnarok? I love that music. The Immigrant Song. Boom, 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 boom. In the land of the ice and snow. And his sister, Helena. Or Helena, whatever the Helena, her name is. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. I think in the next Thor movie, they're going to make it a little more serious and get back some of the credibility that was lost in Love and Thunder, from what I've heard. Thank you for joining, everybody. Do not forget to hit that like button before you go. Yes, I choose Ragnarok. Yeah, he lost his whole civilization. Their whole Valhalla was not Valhalla, but yeah, their entire home got obliterated. Asgard. Yeah, you're right. He did lose a lot. And then he gave up being king of Asgard. Gave that to Valkyrie. Went traveling with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Anything. Yeah, that was quite the battle royale. On the Ragnarok. Yes, he sure did. Yeah, I'm going with the first one again. I don't think anything can touch the original Guardians of the Galaxy. That thing had the mojo, man. James Gunn did that one perfect. That was one with Kurt Russell, right? The second one as Ego. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the GCI live stream. we are working on the GCI Studios version of Absolute Batman, the #1 comic in the industry. Yeah, Kurt Russell. I thought he did a wonderful job. Actually, Kurt Russell's one of my favorite actors. Been watching him in movies since he was a kid. In the Disney movies back in the day. Thank you for the likes, everybody. You can consider subscribing too. Have daily content on here. We go live each and every day. And this is a special edition of Draw Every Day, our Monday through Friday series, because I felt like drawing the Absolute Batman. Yeah, and Rocket's whole backstory, man, that was kind of rough. But it was good. I did like it, though. But I really liked the first one the best. Yeah. The Avengers. Avengers. Let's see. I have to go. I get caught in a rut with all the. Oh, yeah. Endgame was something else, man. It was long, but I think it needed to be that long to tell the whole story. Yeah, Endgame was something else. I don't know if I'll ever be able to match all that energy and everything at stake. I know they're going to try with Doomsday, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off as good as Endgame was. Yeah, to see all those heroes in one movie in the original Avengers, that was historic. And extremely cool. Yeah, the end game was wow. Those last scenes with Tony Stark dying, those are some rough ones to watch. Yeah, I agree with that. The first one and the last one were just epic. Yep, and no bad Avengers movie. It's true. They were on the money with every one of those. Do a little cross hatching. So when you want a medium tone of shadow, of course, not completely black and not the first stage of shadowing, you do a cross hatch and bring the tone down to like a medium level. Yeah, that was something else, man. That is something else, that Iron Man in the end of the end game, in the end of the end. I know, you almost have to put them as 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Because they are all so well executed. So I'm going to add some color here to Mr. Absolute. I like these blue-gray tones for Batman in general. Yeah, it is hard. Yeah, and then he ragdolls Loki and just slaps him around. I was at the theater in Florida and saw that. And when he did that, I yelled out ragdoll because he just completely smashes up Loki into the floor. That was awesome. Puny human. Puny god. Yeah, when Cap's telling everybody what to do as the aliens are coming down onto New York City, he just looks at Hulk and said, Hulk, smash. He gets that grin on his face. Boom, that's all she wrote. Hulk's just obliterating those aliens. Okay, so that was a blue-gray. I'm going to get the lightest tone I can to start this out with. I know this will not give Hulk a solo movie. I'm not sure what their deal is with that. Yeah, that would be so cool. I know Mark Ruffalo would like to have a solo movie. I've heard him say that in interviews before. But there's issues with the rights to it, where they can't have a standalone Hulk movie. They can include him, Marvel can, in other movies, but they cannot do a standalone Hulk movie because they don't have all the rights to the character back yet. So Hulk is in limbo. So I'm getting the base tone of the suit color down, keeping it light, so I can come in with other darker tones to get the shading kind of a little more gradual. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the Savage Hulk back. That Professor Hulk thing was kind of a novelty at first, but it got old fast. It was really frustrating in, what was it, Ultron, when he couldn't turn, not Ultron, Infinity Wars. When Banner could not turn into the Hulk, he had to wear the Hulkbuster suit for the big battle in Wakanda. Yeah, they seem to be just avoiding it. Keep their numbers going. Although Marvel movies, they've had a few flops here. Thunderbolts was good, but I don't think it did as good as they were hoping. And the same with the Fantastic Four. I don't think it did as good as they were hoping. So kind of puckered up, holding their breath on these next few movies, especially Doomsday. Yeah, Fantastic Four. I gotta tell you, I never have been a Fantastic Four fan, to characters. I've done all those different movies, and I wasn't crazy about any of them. Yeah, that did kind of bring the whole movie to a screeching halt. Yeah, seems like there's so many other directions they could have went with the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I hope they handle them a little better in the Doomsday. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to the GCI stream, joining us for a bit. Obviously, our project today is Absolute Batman. Please hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, and consider subscribing. We have a really good community here. We've been having some great comparisons of getting opinions from everybody on which movies and various trilogies are their favorites, which is the best. Costy's kind of handling that conversation, keeping the ball rolling. Thank you for that, Costi. Keeping everybody engaged that's here. And be sure and pitch in on the conversation. Take a few minutes. Yeah, they did a good thing with Ben, the Thing. The look is really good. Yeah, they're doing, talking about filming Secret Wars right with Doomsday. Filming them both, parts of them both at the same time. And they didn't have a finished script when they started doing Doomsday. That's always scary when they're winging it like that. Thank you, everyone, for the likes. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of this content. We're on here every day, talking comic books, superhero movies. Yeah, yeah, it came, that whole thing went belly up. I'm going to keep going for a while. I don't really want to render this out. We're just about an hour in, but I'm going to do at least an hour and a half today. Yeah, I want to start early to catch people before the ones who are up all night, catch them before they went to bed. Yeah, we've been talking trilogies and which one, in our various opinions, were the best. Oh, thank you, Nismo. Yeah, broke the 1800 barrier this past week. I think I did see your post when I was loading mine up this morning for the stream. Let me check it out again. Oh yeah, with Yoda in your new coloring style. That's really cool. Yoda sitting on a rock. Yeah, we were talking about mostly MCU. That's what I'm hoping. Hit that 2,000 mark here in a month or two. Okay, hours this morning were, let me check. Well, we're past the halfway mark to get to the 3,000 where people can do super chats. That's the first stage. We're at just over 1,700 hours. So the hours have kind of slowed up a little bit. We were averaging for past 28 days like around 500, but it's dropped down again to the like 480s, 490s for when it gives me the numbers on the past 28 days every day. Yeah, I watched the Thunderbolts. Yep, I realize, I'm on here every day, and I realize not everybody's going to be able to catch every one of these. We got things to do. Our lives take precedence. Getting stuff done. I just choose a time in the day where I know I'll be available every day to get it done, be on here. Yeah, no problem. Just play it by ear and see if anybody decides they want to try it once we hit that point. Then the next point would be the 4,000 hour mark, which I'm not even halfway to that yet. And that would be with the commercials and advertising. Oh, very cool. Have you been to America before to visit your family? No layovers at all, huh? Wow, that's going to be a marathon flight. Hopefully it's one of them planes where you'll be able to lay down. Yeah, that kind of sucked when they called them the New Avengers. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, business class, that'd be nice. That's a smart idea. Have something to watch on the plane. I always draw when I'm flying, so I take my sketchbook and just set up shop, my little mini studio on the plane, and I sketch the whole time I'm on the plane. Makes the time fly. Makes the time fly while I'm flying. Yeah, take a sketchbook, man. Even get one of them small ones or a couple of those small ones and do some sketching. Get some, you gotta draw every day, so you might as well draw on the airplane. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then the flight attendants always say, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." Do you do that for a living? Yeah, draw while you're in midair going hundreds of miles an hour. what I'll do is change this up a little bit. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that with their Instagram and the artwork. I've never had an Instagram account, but he does interact with his people who comment, so it's possible to get Rob's attention. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Yeah, there's a lot more competition. It's not as interactive, I don't think, as the other platforms that he uses. Just from the way he talks, I don't know, I've never done it before. Wow, 500, that's awesome. Yeah, people have told me I should go on Instagram and start uploading some of my stuff on there. I'm not sure I'd have time to do that. Yeah, that was cool. They did the various Batman theme songs with the guitar. I don't remember where I even found that, but it sure worked good with that Neil Adams version of Batman. Yeah, I played the drums, a little bit of singing. Maybe my brother used to do some singing. Old stuff, obviously, since I'm an old man. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, I've heard of that. People using that for their artwork. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, a lot of countries are taking action on some of these social media things, and like in Australia, kids can't even have a cell phone until they're a certain age. Yeah, I did see where you were talking about that comic book deal. So what's that on? Where's that comic book at? I'm not sure. I'm familiar with that. Copy bar rockstar guitarist. You get, oh, that's your comic story. Oh, I see. How many pages was issue 1? Wow. That's a lot of pages, man. Thank you very much, Kosti. Yeah, it'd been a while since I drew the Absolute, so I would give it another try. Not coming out too bad. Thank you and welcome everyone to the live stream today. We've had a constant number, not gigantic numbers watching, but I just want to appreciate everybody who's taken a few minutes to check out the stream. Hello, Proper Music. Thank you very much for the comment. Appreciate you being here today. Would you consider subscribing if you really enjoy this? We're doing this content every day. Let me go back a few pages in the sketchbook. Let everybody see what we've been working on. Last week, all week, we were working on this one, Batman versus Solomon Grundy. Oh yeah, I like it when people use just what's around them for drum sets. We created our own character, Mega Man. This is one of Kosti's characters last weekend. There's some of the thumbnail sketches, concept sketches of him. That was on my other channel. I got some color down on this page of the brown bat. Oh yeah, using chopsticks instead of drumsticks. Very cool. Thank you for the likes, everybody. And that was page 1 of the brown bat. I might feel like adding a little ink to the brown bat page. Yeah, I will check that out when I get some time. So how do I find that again? Where is that at? Welcome everyone to the stream. Pretty much wrapped up Absolute Batman for today. Thought I'd do a little inking on my story, The Brown Bat. This is page 1. Bombastic Acrobat. No, I have not heard of the Bombastic Acrobat. Adrian Rios. Batman with Thor's hammer. No, this is his bat logo. So on Absolute Batman, these are magnets. So he's taken off his bat emblem and he has a handle for it, and he uses it like a battle axe in the Absolute series. So he can chop the crap out of yeah, I think I've got this one pretty well in mind. It's just a matter of getting time to get it on paper. He's going to, in issue 1, he's going to be tracking down a serial killer. And it's going to get into his backstory, how he grew up and what happened to him, traumatic things as a child, a few traumatic things when he was in the military and war, things that cause him to use excessive force when he's faced with a villain. Tomorrow's stream, I was thinking about doing Harley Quinn versus Raven, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I don't even remember who requested that or if they were a subscriber, so I might not be doing that. Thank you for the likes, everybody. And consider subscribing if you want to see how this story continues. Yeah, I haven't done Ben Affleck yet. No, I think I've got mine figured out. Been thinking about it while I've been driving. That's what made me do this page. Just coming up with ideas to get the brown bat, bring his story to life. Yeah, I saw it. You were talking about Jack the Ripper and stuff. Circus Bane and Sherlock Holmes. Oh, wow. That's how he becomes such a good detective. Yeah, I'll check it out. Hey, Matthew, thank you very much. Appreciate you. And thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we're just kind of going through some of the previous drawings we've been working on, highlighting that for some of our new guests who have shown up here this morning for GCI Studios live stream. This is my story of the version of Batman I came up with, the Brown Bat. And he fights crime in London, England. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, he is still on the list. I might just knock out Ben Affleck for Monday and Tuesday and start a new page of the Brown Bat on Wednesday. Lay out the panels before the stream starts and start doing the sketching in the panels. We got about 5 more minutes here today, and I'll be wrapping this one up. No, tomorrow's going to be Ben Affleck's Batman. And I'll do, once I finish Ben Affleck, I'm going to do some Brown Bat panels for the 3rd page of the Brown Bat. Yeah, because I've been holding off on doing that Affleck version of the Bat for a while, so I think we'll go ahead and get that one done tomorrow. Or at least started and finish it on Tuesday. Appreciate the likes, everybody. Please consider subscribing while you're on here. Exactly. So we'll give old Affleck his turn to the GCI studios. I like the black dividers between panels. It's a cool effect. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate the likes. Consider subscribing if you enjoy comic book art, specifically DC. Yeah, not the metal one where he's all geared up to battle Superman. Kind of the Frank Miller style suit from The Dark Knight. Boom. Welcome to the GCI live stream. Just touching up one of my pages from my version of the Batman called the Brown Bat. Don't forget to hit that like button before you have to go. You're welcome, Nismo, and thank you for all of that. Appreciate you, man. Hello, Ziggy. Thank you for joining us. Just doing a little bonus after I finished my Absolute Batman sketch. Just wanted to do some inking here on my page 1 layout of the Brown Bat. Slaughterhouse. Brown Bat and the Slaughterhouse Killer. Something like that. I'm not for sure on the final title of this. I'm glad that's the main reason I'm on here, Nismo, is to inspire everybody to draw and show them my approach and help people to get better. The ones who want to draw and the ones who want to possibly pursue this for a living or even just a YouTube channel. I like to give tips and guidance and encourage you guys to, of course, draw every day. Since that's the name of this series, I like doing daily streams with you guys. Just inking over my original pencils here for Brown Bat, page 1, panel 1. And then I'll be wrapping this up here shortly. If you are enjoying this, everybody, please consider subscribing. Channel is growing. We have a good community here. It's been a fun stream this morning. Well, I'm glad I could help, Nismo. It's been fun having you here with the GCI universe. Yep, that certainly makes sense because they are in my opinion, some of the best actors to play the part. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody, for all your input. This is GCI Studios, episode number 169. And we have just wrapped up a little bit of work in the Brown Bat panel. And we wrapped up Absolute Batman. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Yep, that was a cool character. See you guys.